here, and today we're talking about Indiana Jones because this came out last year. It was, in my opinion, is one of the best Xbox games we've gotten
But everybody got no game though.
this entire generation. It's fantastic. It's
Oh
fun.
wow,
It's
really?
adventurous. It's got crazy side
Well,
quests.
that's funny because the last time I checked, weren't you hating on this game before it had a PS5 release date? Y'all doing the same thing you did with Starfield as well with Avowed. All because the games they dropping on PlayStation 5. Just admit it, ponies. You like Xbox games. It is what it is.
World building. I don't even like the Indiana Jones movies that much. This is the game where it is so fun. It made me appreciate the character of Indy more. I mean,
Well,
that's how
thank you,
legit it is.
Microsoft.
Well, they just announced the PlayStation 5 release date, but
Okay.
that's not all. It's going to be better on the PlayStation 5, and
Because most people don't even own the PS5 Pro version of the game. More than likely, it's going to be the same game that you're getting on Xbox. What are you talking about, bro? I like how PlayStation 5 owners acting as if the vast majority of PS5 owners own the Pro. Maybe they'll have something additional for the Pro, like what they did with Forza Horizon, but very much it's still the same game. And let's also not talk about the fact that you don't have quick resume. How about if I use that as a counter and say, well, your version doesn't have quick resume, therefore your version is worse than mine. Does it really matter, bro? Nobody cares, because if you really want the best version of this game, you would play it on PC, not on a PlayStation 5 Pro.
it feels weird. I am definitely buying it a second time, but
Oh, look at that. Giving Microsoft your money. I'm going to buy the game a second time. I mean, look at this. Microsoft out here milking your dummies. You're buying it on Xbox. You're probably going to buy it on Steam too. I mean, come on, man. Like, what is wrong with you people, man? For all the people that say we don't like Xbox games, but yet for some reason you guys continue to still give Microsoft your money to the point where your own franchises are flopping. And then you wonder as to why. Why don't Sony make us a God of War Greek Saga collection? I don't know why. Maybe because you're too busy buying Xbox games?
let's take a look at the goods, the bads, and their reactions to it, because it does feel like a lot of PlayStation people that originally were saying, oh, the game doesn't look that good, a lot of people seem to be celebrating this PS5.
And you're one of them, because you was bashing this game before the game even had an announcement for the PlayStation 5, and now all of a sudden the PlayStation 5 gamer has fell in love with it. You guys are the definition of hypocrites, man. I'm going to be honest. Y'all bad for gaming. That just goes to show you that you guys do get mad when a game does skip your platform. That's why you were so scared with Activision Bethesda. You really thought, oh, Microsoft, they're going to take these games away from you. When all they did is they're double dipping. They're making more money doing this than if they just locked the game down to a platform. That might be something Sony might have to learn from Microsoft.
Spencer originally said it'll just be 4 games.
Yeah, and PlayStation said that they would never put their games on PC, and look what happened. That's why I try to tell you, never say never.
From Xbox and PlayStation 5. Amazing game. Happy birthday, Bloodborne. Oh yeah, this is the 10th anniversary of Bloodborne. I mean, it'd be nice if PlayStation acknowledged that.
Well, you know, PlayStation don't think about you in the same way Microsoft does, huh? I find it so funny that you guys say we picked up a PS5 to play exclusives, but yet for some reason it seems like you picked up the PS5 to play the same games you can get on PC and Xbox. So you explain to me, what is the purpose of a PlayStation 5 if I'm picking a PS5 just to wait for some old Forza Horizon, or not being able to play games in day and date, or not being able to play all these games through one subscription service, which you're still paying for the game and the subscription service on PlayStation. But yet you guys say it's more value playing on PlayStation than it is if you bought the games on Xbox or played them on Xbox or PC.
But I guess we're just not going to do that. I'll be buying both this and Forza Horizon 5 to show Microsoft needs to continue putting their games on PlayStation.
And what's even more embarrassing, this dude has a picture of Mag, right? That's what's even more ridiculous, is the fact that you guys are going to give your money single-handedly to Microsoft. And like I said, Microsoft will continue to put games on your platform because it doesn't matter anymore. But the days of we're picking up the PS5 for exclusives, is those days they've been over. You know what I mean? And that's why y'all saying the console war doesn't exist, because you guys know that that's all people want to play is third-party free-to-plays and Xbox games. Nobody cares about your own titles, and they never did.
Can't wait for Halo and Gears of War next.
Look at that. Do you hear him say, I can't wait for Resistance and Killzone? Nope, you talk about Xbox games. I'm very shocked as to why PlayStation gamers waited this long to play Xbox games when you could have played them a long time ago. That just shows you that Sony has fallen from the graces of Olympus. You know, it's starting to sound like God of War. And look what happened. All PlayStation fanboys are doing like the beginning of God of War 2. You know, Olympus has failed me. And then Kratos just falls down into the abyss. Like, that's crazy. That's exactly how you guys are looking right now, man.
This does feel like that big change. We've known for the fact that every Xbox game is going to PlayStation, but the thing I'm curious about the most is that this game, we don't know how well it sold on Xbox, but it doesn't seem like it exactly burned up the sales charts. Some people...
Why would this game burn up the sales charts when people could just play the game through a subscription service that people are already paying for? What do you don't understand? Of course, I mean, the funny thing is this game had more players playing this game than they did with Astrobot, which I find quite funny, which also would mean that the game was successful because people was more inclined to wanting to try it out. Unlike Astrobot, which the game didn't sell, and yet again, to the point where Sony's bundling the game with consoles now, like what they did with the first one, Astro's Playroom. So let me guess, Astro Playroom must be the most successful PlayStation exclusive game that you had because it was bundled with every PlayStation 5. So I guess that sold 75 million sales. Like, this is ridiculous, bro. You got Sony artificially boosting up their sales. I mean, this is all Sony. They've been doing this since the beginning. Anybody that knows PlayStation from PlayStation 1, 2, and 3 knows that this is what Sony does best.
Bought it, but even the people that did buy it, it seemed like they mostly played it on Game Pass. That makes sense. The whole idea of Xbox now is that it's not about just straight up buying discs. It's about, hey, subscribe to the service. Even when there isn't another game coming out, say subscribe to the service. So it is going to be interesting to me how well this ends up selling on the PlayStation 5. I mean, it seems like they're not really doing that much marketing. I mean, a tweet 3 weeks before launch, a bit strange, but...
And people are still looking forward to it. It's so sad that you guys can't even get the Bloodborne remaster or remake that you want, even after buying the Pro, but no enhancements, and you're out here getting excited for Xbox games.
Here's the other part of it. There are, on some browsers, they have the PS5 Pro technology. A bunch of videos and stuff have been made this year about how the PS5 Pro is actually really damn good at just making shadow effects, about pumping up frame rate.
I would hope so, considering that you pay $700 to $800 for it.
Extra high resolution. I want to see if Microsoft is using that technology to really make the best version of their games on the PlayStation. It is interesting.
Well, the best version of their game will be on PC, not on PlayStation. So I find it so funny how you guys completely keep going over that fact. And like I said, I commend Microsoft for wanting to give you guys a solid version of the game. And let's not forget, PlayStation 5 releases on PC. A lot of their games is broken. So Sony clearly doesn't really care about making money, because if they did, they would make sure that these things weren't happening. This is why people don't care about PlayStation as a company, and rightfully so, because look at how you guys go about business. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy that you purposely making bad ports on PC so you can uphold the PS5 version. This is why Sony don't have the same weight in their games anymore, and they never did. Nobody ever really cared about PlayStation exclusives, and you guys know it from the bottom of your heart.
To think about the fact that Forza is coming out 2 weeks after that, so
wow.
Maybe some of the most hyped, talked about games in April are not going to be Xbox games on Xbox. They're going to be Xbox games on PS5. A bit strange, but...
How is it strange? How is that strange considering that PlayStation 5 has nothing for you to play?
The final thing I want to talk about is, in my opinion, the biggest L of this. So this is the collector's edition we had on the original Xbox, right? So we already knew this. This is the special deluxe edition. You can buy it. It comes with a globe. You can pay for the special digital edition that gives you 2-day early access, that kind of stuff. But if you read the fine print, which, honestly, this picture, you can't see it. It's so teeny tiny. But if you zoom in down here, it says that the disc doesn't really have anything on it. Like,
there you go. You really thought you was going to get physical copies of these Xbox games, bro? Go ahead. Proceed to go spend $100 something on that. Go ahead. You really thought Microsoft was going to do that? Y'all stupid. So go ahead. You go ahead thinking you're going to... You might as well just buy the game digital at this point. We already knew this, though. We already knew when Microsoft was going to port these games over, that was more likely what they was going to do.
Yes, but it's basically an install key.
Ha
Internet
ha.
connection required.
But I thought physical media was good.
Download the game and content. It straight up says that. It is straight up just saying, hey, you'll be able to play it offline after you've bought it, after you've installed it. But
yep.
I am annoyed about any time a company sells you a game now that has, do I have a physical game here? We have
oh my God.
Anytime a company sells you a disc that doesn't work with an internet connection, then the disc is fake.
Well, then your whole existence of a PlayStation 5 is fake, because the PS5 disc drive, and like I've said, and I've explained this in countless amount of videos, that the detachable disc drive of the Slim, not the base model PS5, but of the Slim and the Pro, because they use the same exact drive, they don't work unless you synchronize those online. So that would mean your whole physical catalog of PS5 games is obsolete. Screw the disc. You get what I'm saying? Your whole disk drive, okay, not just a disc, your whole disk drive is meaningless. So the day Sony stops supporting the PS5 and you can't synchronize your PS5 with the online, your disk drive will stop working. I'm telling you, the base PS5 is going to be the one that's worth money, not the Slim model, not the Pro model like you think. I've had it happen to me. I didn't turn on my PS5 Slim for probably one month. And the day I tried to get it, I should have recorded a video, but I wasn't thinking that. You probably can find videos online. And when I tried to put the disc in, it did not want to take the disc in until I updated the disc drive. And y'all want to sit there and say, PlayStation care about physical media. You have a better chance buying PS4 variations of games and not PS5 ones.
It might as well just be a coupon code. Because at that point, the disc is just for show.
And what do you think they're going to do with Forza? What do you think they're going to do with all the Xbox games coming over?
The fact that everybody does this here and there, but I do feel like Xbox has been by far the worst culprit. I don't think Redfall was digital.
Oh, really? How about Gran Turismo 7? How about that? What about Helldivers 2? What about that? Not having a single-player code. Because Gran Turismo 7, there should be no excuse for that game. But yet, for some reason, that game is an online-only title. Explain that. I bet you don't want to talk about that, right? Okay, there we go.
And now I guess that game's dead. The studio's dead. Same with Hi-Fi Rush Digital only. So many of these games, even if you are a collector, even if you are a lover of it, it sucks that the box on the shelf is essentially just a ticking time bomb. It is weird to think about the fact that
your whole disk drive of the PS5 is nothing but a ticking time bomb.
We get closer and closer to this all-digital future. So many games like Indiana Jones will only exist as long as Microsoft cares to keep the servers live.
Go ahead. Proceed to pay $200 for this paperweight that you see right there. Go ahead. But at least you get some nice collectible toys to go with it.
Downloads available. This has been some thoughts. To be honest, I'm definitely buying this game a second time.
Why would you buy it if you know the game is DRM? You see that? You see the hypocrisy? Look at that.
The servers live to keep the downloads available.
Let them know.
This has been some thoughts. To be honest, I'm definitely buying this game a second time.
You buying a $200 license key. Look at this dummy. Go ahead. Give Microsoft your money. Go ahead. Nobody cares. Because that's all you're paying for is a license key. 10, 20 years from now, you ain't even going to be able to play it. By all means, pick it up. This is why people was telling you that gaming is going through live services subscriptions, but y'all don't want to listen to little old gangster. Y'all want to listen to your own feelings, how I feel. This is what we was trying to tell you of how big these games are becoming. They're not going to natively run on your console. And I'm telling people, even with the Switch 2, we will see rudiments of that. Okay? Nintendo's lucky because they're doing it slow. But the day Nintendo gets to the hardware of an Xbox Series X, they're going to be doing the same exact thing, bro.
I may just re-review it just as an excuse to beat the damn game again. I loved it on Xbox. I'm probably going to platinum it on PlayStation 5, and I'm super curious how it looks on the PlayStation 5 Pro. But how do you feel about Indiana Jones? And have you already played it? I guess that's a real question. Have you tried The Great Circle, and are you, like me, going to be a crazy person and double dip?
Yep, you're going to double dip on a game that you don't even own. Even when you buy the copy of the game, you still don't own it. And this is why I try to tell you people, why you fight about this? Why do y'all still hold on to the concept of physical media? If the people say, oh, it's because they couldn't fit it in the disc. Listen, I like what Microsoft's doing, but I'm going to keep it 100 with you. That's a load of nonsense. Oh, like, what games? You talking bad about Xbox? Yes, I guess you could say that. That is a load of nonsense. They could have printed it on 2 discs for you. They also, and it's funny because you probably don't know that. Do you know PlayStation back then had a patent for, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 gigabyte disc? You can look that up. Sony don't even use them because you know why? Because Sony realized, hold on, we don't want to give these people real ownership. Yeah, look it up. Sony was patenting this back during the PS3, right? But then they probably doubled back and said, why would we do that? Why would we give these people full copies to games when we could just continue to resell them the same game? And you people falling for it. You're dumb. Look it up. If you don't believe me, look it up on Google. Hopefully it's still there and tell me if you found it or not. But Sony did try to patent that for higher gigabyte disc capacity. But guess what? They don't want to print you one. They'll throw a few little accessories there. You get a world globe and an Indiana Jones pamphlet, some cheap stuff that ain't worth nothing. But no, we're not putting the game on the disc no more. It's ridiculous, bro. Why do people even spend this type of money on stuff like this that you don't even own? These things should be played through a subscription service because you don't own the game anyway. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, man, PlayStation ponies, you heard what he said. He's going to have to buy the game again. Yeah, because we know Xbox that got the games and Sony don't. Take care.